Just imagine spending your whole life believing something is true, then finding out it's not. This is what a fixed mindset does. It makes you believe your situation and your abilities are fixed and they cannot be changed. But this is one of the biggest misconceptions holding you back. I know this because I let my fixed mindset control my decisions for so many years. But once I realized this, I started to look for other ways. That's when I discovered growth mindset. This not only improved my personal life, it changed my finances. So today I'm going to show you how you can go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset so you can achieve everything that you want. You might believe people are born with a certain level of intelligence, confidence, physical strength, and no matter what you do, you can't achieve the same level because you believe your abilities and situation are fixed. For this reason, you never try to improve yourself. But I don't believe it's your fault you believe this way. Growing up, we experience, but also we're told certain things which can make us develop a fixed mindset. When I think back to being in school, I still remember my teacher telling me I will never achieve anything. I remember going to see my careers advisor and telling him I want to be an architect. He looked me in the eye and told me straight up, I don't think you're going to be an architect, you don't have the grades, and I don't think you have the capabilities to get the grades. Those words not only impacted my teenage years, it impacted me throughout my life. But the truth was, I could have got the grades. I could have become an architect. All I had to do was work a little bit harder to improve my grades. And if I didn't get the grades, I could have become an architectural technologist. Once I got that qualification, I could have gone on to being an architect. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes you may have to work a little bit harder than the other person, or you might have to take a different route. But it can take one conversation to develop a fixed mindset, which can impact every decision you make for the next 50 years. But if you can make one shift and start to believe you can change your situation and your life, you will not only develop a growth mindset, you will be able to achieve anything you put your mind to. Once you start believing, you'll want to take action. When you take action, you start to build a growth mindset. You can't have any growth without taking action. I'm not one of those that says you've just got to believe it and it'll happen. I truly believe that you've got to believe something, but without the action, you will not get the results that you want. So to break it down, it all starts with belief. Belief leads to action, action leads to growth. So just start believing you can become smarter, more confident, more capable in the gym. Once you believe, then you can start taking action. You can take action by learning new things. Every time you learn something new or a new way of doing something, you're teaching your brain it can grow. Once you learn these things and put them into action, this not only grows your mindset, it gives you a massive boost to your confidence. Believing you can become more confident, a better communicator, more capable in the gym is the first part to building a growth mindset. Then you have to take action. You have to learn how to get better in the gym, how to become a better communicator, how to become more confident. Once you start learning these things, you will be teaching your brain it can grow and change. When you take action on these things, you will build a growth mindset because you will be showing your brain that you can actually learn new things and actually implement them. But learning new things can be hard. You're going to face difficulties, challenges. You're going to even make mistakes. But that's how you grow, when you continue to push through when things get tough. Most men just give up when things get hard. That's why they end up staying stuck in the same situation. But if you want to build a growth mindset, change your life, improve your situation, then you've got to keep pushing through. If you be relentless, never give up and push through when things are not going your way, I guarantee it, you will achieve things that most people will only dream of. What you're capable of, you have no idea. You're more capable than you think. So don't give up. Start believing, take action and build that growth mindset. When building a growth mindset, it can be challenging and there can be certain things you do or say that can make you fall back into a fixed mindset. So I want you to start being conscious on the way you speak. So the next time you're about to say something, I want you to stop, pause and think about the words that are going to come out of your mouth. Are they pulling you down or bringing you up? When I was back in school, I used to tell myself, I hate English subject, I hate reading, I hate writing, I'm never gonna pass my English exam. And guess what? I failed it 3 times. Just the way I spoke stopped my brain from taking action. I didn't want to learn how to become better. I didn't try to enjoy reading because I was speaking so negatively about the language, but also the subject. My brain didn't want to make the effort to try to improve the situation. That's why it's so important you take conscious effort on the way you speak. I didn't realize this when I was younger and it held me back. So don't let it hold you back. Your words are so important. So change your words so you want to learn new things, so you want to try new things, so you can find a way to enjoy certain things. I let my words pull me down and stop me from growing as a man and building a fixed mindset. Don't make the same mistakes. Just be conscious what comes out of your mouth and I guarantee it, you'll want to take action, but also you will start to enjoy certain things. I actually like English now. I actually like learning new words and listening to audiobooks. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of reading still, but I enjoyed the language because it's so fascinating when you learn new words and learn to become a better communicator. Change the way you speak and you will change the way you act. The next thing I want you to do is surround yourself with the right people. This is so important when building a growth mindset. If everyone around you tells you it's not going to happen, it can't happen, you can't do it, no matter how positive you are, no matter how forward thinking you are, you're going to start thinking like the people you surround yourself with. Your surroundings influence the way you speak, the way you act, the way you think. That's why it's so important you surround yourself with the right people. People who are pushing themselves, but also believe anything is possible, are trying to be better. If you surround yourself with these people, you will want to do the same. It's crazy when you surround yourself with the right people, it will not only change your life, it will change everything about you. So surround yourself with the right people and absorb that energy. Use it to pull yourself up. It's crazy how people's energy, the way they talk, the way they think, the way they speak can influence your decisions. It's very important that you put yourself in the right settings, especially when you're building a growth mindset. Also, I want you to be relentless and never give up when things get tough, because when things get hard is the time you'll get the most growth, but also you will learn the most. When things get really tough, just remind yourself this is part of the process. This is what you've got to go through to get where you want. And don't be afraid to take a break. It's okay to take a day off from the gym, take a day off from your business, take a day off from learning, just to gather your thoughts and then come back twice as strong. Sometimes we think we've got to go on and on and on and on until we get the results that we want. Sometimes all it takes is taking one day off and you come back twice as fresh. Also, don't feel like you have to change everything in one day. Just take small steps. As long as you start to build a growth mindset and go on that journey, you won't want to stop. But you don't have to spend the next 6 hours in the gym or the next 6 hours reading. Just take 10 minutes every day for the next week and spend that time to learn something new. Think positively. Even go for a 10-minute walk. As long as you're doing something to improve yourself and taking action, over time, that will build. And then on the second week, try to do an hour in the morning. You will be amazed how much you can get done in the first hour of the day with no distractions, no one around you. You can really focus on changing your life and building that growth mindset. And to all you 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds who are watching my video, stop using your age as an excuse. It actually means you need to be putting in more work to stay fit, to stay mentally strong, and to stay on the track of improving your life. Age is only a number. I'm 40 and I'm improving every day. My training has got better, my mental health is better, I'm eating a lot better, I'm trying to improve every day. Age is just a number, and if you're using your age as an excuse not to change your situation, not to change your life, the only person you're letting down is yourself. No matter what age you're at, whether you're 18 or 60, you still have time to change your life and your situation. Now, we can all flip between a fixed and a growth mindset depending on what situation we're in or what stage of life we're at. But if you're struggling to believe you can change, I want you to remember one thing. When you was born, you couldn't even walk. You learned how to do that. You couldn't even write your name. You learned how to do that. You couldn't even tie your shoelace. And most of you learned how to do that. My point is, you can learn anything. Just think, at one point you were this baby in your mother's hands and you couldn't even feed yourself. Now you can do so many amazing things. If you can learn that, you can learn anything. Therefore, start to believe. Once you believe, you'll take action. Once you take action, you will build a growth mindset. Now, if you want to know the fastest way to change your life, you might want to click here.